I'll tell you what, here they come. Let's give them a big hand, I have, this last year especially, maybe the last year and a half, 20 years being here at Lighthouse Church, we're coming up on 20, or in our 20th year, you take things for granted. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of things you take for granted, but when something begins to suffer in your body, you don't take it for granted anymore. You're quick to give God the glory and realize that you got to lean on Him for everything. And we kind of took a licking with our children and our youth. And then over this last year, we've really seen this group start to blossom. And I realize now, and hopefully all of us as a body realize how important it is to invest not only in our children, but in our teenagers. Because the stats say that 85% of these, if they are going to accept Jesus, will do it before the age of 18. And they're saying today that the stat is that when 75% of them graduate high school, they graduate church and never go back. So we will be doing our part to reinforce. Terry, volunteers really are doing a phenomenal job, and I'm going to turn it over to them. This is their time, and I'll come back up at the end and wrap it up. But those of you that have supported them, we had somebody in our church support over probably a third of the ones that went, and other people that donated that help children go to camp. I'm telling you, you're going to see some of your dividends at work, and our Bible says love never fails. So when we give, and we give love, and we give out of a heart of wanting to see God's kingdom furthered, God said that's a gift that'll never, never, never lose its value. Let's give it up for Mr. Terry Brooks.
First of all, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you who did give, who made this possible. 3 years ago when I had this dream, a lot of people thought I was crazy. A lot of people didn't agree with what I was doing. But my motto was, God's got this. So this year we decided we're going to call our ministry, God's Got This, youth ministry. And He does. He's got this. So the way it's going to work this morning, I'm going to turn it over to the ladies, and they're going to do a few things, talk. Then we're going to watch a 30-minute video. Then I'll get up and close out. But I want to thank each and every one of you and let you know without your support and without your help, this wouldn't be possible.
So we're going to start right here. I'm going to read some verses. Okay. Thus also faith by itself, if it does not have work, is dead. James 2:14. The Lord is my strength and my song, and He has become my salvation.
Amen. Good morning. I'll read it. My name's Janelle, and I'm going to read 2 Corinthians 5:7. We walk by faith and not by sight. Amen.
My name is Emily, and I'm going to be reading Jeremiah 33:2-3. Thus says the Lord who made it, the Lord who formed it to establish it. The Lord is His name. Call to me, and I will answer you, and show you great and mighty things which you do not know.
My name is Alana, and I'm going to be reading Romans 8:37. Yet in all these things we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us.
Amen. Amen.
Good morning. My name is Megan, and I'll be reading John 1:12. But as many as received Him, to them He gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in His name.
Amen.
Hi, my name's Chandler, and this camp was really fun. We all learned. We all got closer to Jesus throughout this camp. And I know all of us have learned a valuable lesson. And I want to thank Terry and Rita and all the other counselors for getting us there and for watching over us. And I just want to thank all the donators who supported us. Your money has not gone to waste. We all have learned and got closer to Jesus. Amen.
Hello, good morning. My name is Dahlia Charleswell. This has been my 4th year with Camp Anderson, going with the youths, but I've gone with the youths to many trips for the summer, almost maybe 8-10 times. And I must say for me, this year was one of the best. Every year we go, we learn more and more. This year the theme was I Believe, and it was focusing on faith. The scriptures the girls have read all had something to do with faith or believing in God, that God is who He is to us. The Bible said, train up a child in the way they ought to go. And I would like to thank the church, thank God for the opportunity. Just give me the strength, my family who supported me many years, been doing this. I don't know if most of y'all know, but I'm a diabetic. So for me to go all the time, I just thank God for help, because even was there, my sugar levels was up, and the only one who knew was Miss Brenda. But God is able, and I was able to keep up with these young people. I'm young myself, but God never failed me yet, and no matter what the devil tried to do to keep me down, I'm always going to be able to get back up. The song say we fall down, but yet we get back up.
Okay, I'm Rita Brooks. This was my first year to get to go. I'm usually behind the scenes, but the kids just amazed me, and every night I cried when I seen one of them go up to the altar.
Good morning. I'm Brenda McDowell. So for you all who don't know, I'm one of the youth leaders here, and I've been going to Camp Anderson. I think it's been my 3rd year. I think before that I was doing the Jamaican trips where we did that part, but something about being with the youth is I know what God has called me to do. Did you see how many girls was up here in the choir? We had at least 4 or 5 girls that were up here singing in the choir. The youth are still giving back. Give it up for them. Yes. And, this is how we start them. And they do it in the choir. They do so many things around here. I'm so proud. Anytime we ask them to help do anything to just plant a seed in our church, they're always willing to do it. Always, without a doubt. How many of y'all believe in these children? Yes, we believe in them, and it has to start somewhere. So you guys are doing a great job at home with it, and we just help along the way. So continue to bring them, have them doing things to participate. I mean, it was so amazing this week. I was so proud of all of them. Not only do I know that they all believe in themselves, they believe in Jesus, right? They all do. We were so excited. There was one thing that I noticed, and I told them earlier, excuse me. In our cabin with all the girls, all of them were from Lighthouse except one girl. And she had been in Camp Anderson for the past 4 years. These girls treated her like she rode down on the bus with us. There was no difference. There was no difference at all. That's amazing what we do to give love back. That made me feel good because she didn't stand out. Whatever snacks we had, she had. Whatever water we had, she had. When she needed somebody to talk to, they were there. Give it up for them. And that was so important to me too, because one of the days they were doing their activities, Dahlia and I were in the room, and we were roommates along with her. She opened her heart to us. Lighthouse just showed up. She opened her heart to us. What people did not know was less than a month before that, she had just lost a best friend, and he was killed. It was devastating. I mean, less than a month. But the love that we gave that came from Lighthouse showed her that God showed out. He did. So it was so amazing that the girls, they didn't treat her like, oh, she's just an outsider, she was someone else. And everybody knew that she needed love. She talked to them, she opened to them and everything. And through it all, she was so happy to have all of us, and as well, Dahlia and us, in the cabin, that anytime she needed someone there, that's what we did as counselors. That's what we did. We were not just their counselor, we were their friends. They knew about Jesus because Jesus was in us, and it came out through them. These kids here are amazing. They're amazing. Yeah. We want to thank you guys for their help, because we can't say that the devil wasn't there. He was. The devil showed up, but guess what? God showed out. He showed out. He showed out. And I'm so proud of all of these kids. At the end, they really wasn't ready to come home. They was like, I don't want to go. Dahlia and I was just laughing. Rita was laughing. Everybody. Terry was like, we was just so excited that they weren't just for the fun. They had the love of Jesus, that they believed in Jesus when they left. They did. So I want to continue to ask God to order my steps to help me be who he wants me to be for these kids. They all know that I love them, and I'm a big hugger, so if you see me hugging them, it's all because you know that's what I do. But I'm so grateful to be a part of Lighthouse Church, and I ask God to continue to help me do what I need to do. Thank you.
I'll watch the video real quick, then I'll get up and close out. So hopefully y'all be out here by 1.
Okay. Hello? Can y'all hear me? Okay. Okay. It seems like I can't hear it.
Is it on?
Hello? Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. That was great, and I wanted to tell you guys one thing I forgot to say, because some people don't say too much about things, but there was a very special day that happened during that week, and it was Terry and Rita's 39th wedding anniversary. Is that right, 39? Yes, 39. So, not too many people will give up that big special day, but Terry don't say that much. So, anyway, I wanted to thank both of them for giving up that special day for the kids and for all of us. Thank you.
I kind of wanted to thank Al for all the work he did on the video. That awesome. Thank you. I knew it was going to be long, but I really thought we needed that. I want y'all to understand what these kids are doing while they're at camp. A lot of people think it's just all fun, but it's not. They get up every morning at 7 o'clock. They're hard to get up, don't get me wrong. They eat breakfast, then they have praise and worship from 9 to 10 o'clock. And then from 10 to 10:30, we have break-off time where we have each group praise, goes over the lesson, go on. Then they leave to go to their daily activity. Then when they get back at 1 o'clock, they eat lunch. Okay, at 2 o'clock, they have a special activity, special game. Then at 3 o'clock, they start their free time. Free time is only 3 to 5:30. Guys, they did all that in 2 hours and a half every day. That was their free time. Then they go back and take a shower, thank God. Then they have dinner, and we start praise and worship at night. See, that's one of the reasons I like this camp. There's no free time for them to run around and do nothing. They're always doing something. They're talking, they're meeting people, they're getting closer to Christ. We had talked about maybe trying something different next year, but when I got back yesterday, someone came. I'm going to sponsor 15 next year. I want you to take more. Okay? That being said, guys, I'm getting too old to drive, so we got to take the bus. The bus will hold 56. I got to have at least 10 campers. That means 46 kids will be going to camp next year. Guys, the reason this is important to me, there's a gentleman that came today I want to recognize him, Doug Armstead. He helped me be the man who I am. You don't realize what he did for me over the years to make me the man I am. 25, 30 years ago, nobody would have believed I'd be standing up here right now, okay? The same as nobody believed that this ministry would take off like it took off 3 years ago. Guys, it's not about us, not about me. Believe me, I don't want no praise, no work, nothing over this. I'll keep growing, to keep reaching out to kids that don't have no Christ. One of the girls got baptized. Well, two of them actually, I prayed, God, this is the week for you to take control of their life. This is an opportunity for them to know you, to love you, to understand more about you. Guys, I am so proud of each and every one of these kids this week. It's unbelievable. Video, that's the first time I've seen it. I didn't have time to look at the down there. Guys, it brought tears to my eyes to know what it did, because I know what it done. I know the life has changed. The kids has changed. Guys, I'm fixing to give you a figure that will blow you out of the water. Spoke up this morning about what happens to teenagers. Little did y'all know, God had already spoke to me and told me to come up here with this. Henry County in middle school alone has 41,930 teenage students. That's not private schools, y'all. That's just the high schools and middle schools here in Henry County. Guys, Henry County was represented by 4 churches down there. We're one of the smaller churches, and we probably had some of the most students, okay? We had 26 kids we took. Guys, we're no different than when a little baby that was born in the manger. Look how big it is. Lighthouse Church might be small, but I'm telling you, we can succeed at helping these kids come closer to Christ. But it can't be done without y'all's help and y'all's support. Guys, I came up with this ministry, well, God came up with this ministry so that kids would have an opportunity to get closer to know Christ. I have testimony after testimony on kids that was not in our church from different counties, different states. Each and every one of them had one thing in common. Guys, I want to come to church, but I have no way. 360 days a year, they're out there on the street. Might be on a ball field. Might be at the lake with their parents. Guys, a lot of these kids that we take ain't even with their parents. The ones that are with their parents are very lucky. They got grandparents that are raising them and doing everything they can for them. We're the ones responsible for getting them here, okay? For keeping the fire burning inside of them. I could sit here and preach all day long about faith. Well, I got faith that God's going to bring these kids into these churches to grow, because we have one of the best pastors you can ever ask for. Guys, hey, I'm only living the dream that he had in this church, that it would become about the kids. Guys, with y'all's help this next year, I know we can fill that bus. And that's what my goal is. Miss Brenda, Miss Rita, Mr. Billy, Miss Dahlia. Billy ain't here today, so I'm going to say a few words about Billy. I couldn't do nothing without him. He's always Brenda, Rita, and Dahlia. But this week was also a week, I didn't realize it until Friday morning when Billy got up and smoked. I had so much other stuff on my mind because I said, attack us from the time we leave, but actually the day before we leave till we get back. He's going to do everything in his power to make it. He did that Thursday now. Brenda said Thursday, there's a lot of things went on that he was trying to keep us from making that afternoon, but God showed up and God showed him who the boss was. This week, Billy said in the meeting Friday morning, he spoke of losing his daughter and how this week helped him get closer and understand more of the reason he lost her. And I just thought I needed to mention that because I kind of lost Billy in the shuffle. I was worried about everything else, but I didn't even think about his hurt, but his love. But, guys, I want y'all to know, thanks for all you do. We couldn't do it without you. I'm going to turn it over to Jeff. Thank you. Oh, one quick question. I've got one other thing. There were 35 kids that accepted Christ as their Savior. There were 31 rededication. There were 45 kids baptized this week. Out of our group, our little bitty Lighthouse Church, there were 5 kids baptized, 5 accepted Christ, 12 reconnected with Christ. Guys, that was a great outcome. Some churches didn't even have one. The Lighthouse had all that. Thank you.
Al, I got number 3. That one there was cutting. Yeah, there we go. Now we're working. I'm going to kind of wrap it up right here. I was reading this morning, and a lot of times we think teenagers don't want adults in their life, and that's not true. They say that every teenager that we want to see on track for God needs 5 adults who pour into their life during those years. It could be a parent, it could be a grandparent, it could be a coach, it could be a teacher, but they need 5 people that'll speak life into them, that will be there for them, to listen to them, to help them, to encourage them, that'll be there to let them know how important they are, whether it's going to a ball game, whether it's going to an event, whatever it might be. They need 5 people to pour into their lives and investing in them and helping them with your time is a great way to do that, but also investing and helping them financially be able to go to camp. But they need 5 people that are pouring into their life. And you think about it. A lot of times we say, well, I'm not going to be one of those people that's going to pour into their life because I just don't relate to teenagers. I just don't speak their language. I don't understand their music. We feel like we can't connect. You know what? It's okay. All you've got to do is just be yourself. They just want you to be real. And even though it may seem like they don't want you there, they do want you there. And they want you there cheering for them. They want you there encouraging them. Even when they don't want to hear it, they still want you to be there. Just be yourself. I know I got 2 girls over here, Megan and Mackenzie, that don't want me to be myself sometimes. We're sitting in Golden Corral the other night. We're eating after we picked them up from camp. And Jesse shows me a picture of Mackenzie getting baptized. And right there in the middle of the Golden Corral, I just shout, "Hallelujah!" And everybody looked over there at us. I'm just being myself. That's just me. And they know it's me, and they know I'm crazy. And they join me sometimes, and sometimes they want to run away from me. But they need 5 people. So you just think about it this morning. Whether it's with our teenagers or with our children, whether or not you get involved and help teach or help whatever, there's something you can do, something you can give. It could be sending a kid to camp this next year. I would love this morning, why I think it's awesome, somebody came to him and is already willing to do 15. That's just amazing. And I think that some of you need to do what we done last year, and that is just go see Miss Rita and commit today. Commit to sending a kid to camp. Commit to sending 2, 3, ever how many God lays on your heart. But I want you to commit in some way, whether it's financially, and you can't outgive God. You send one of these kids to camp, and yeah, you see them having a lot of fun, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of things they don't mention that happened this week in this camp that are personal, that God spoke to and ministered to in a tremendous life-changing way. And until they're ready to be front and center, you won't know about it, but yet there are things that went on here and God speaking and God moving, and we just couldn't show you because they're just really personal moments. But I'm going to tell you, God, serving God, giving to God, investing in children and in teenagers is something that will just keep reaping benefits back to you. So this morning, I want to give it up for Terry, Billy, and all of our leaders and all of our youth. Let's just give it up for them. I know I saw last year, I could see the teenage group, and I could see them starting to grow, starting to get some momentum, and starting to have more kids that were coming on Wednesday night and on Sunday morning. We see a lot of evidence of that, and that's done nothing but blossom during the year. You see them singing up here on the stage and involved in a lot of things that we do here at the church, and we can see that investing in them is what we need to be a part of and what we need to keep doing as a church body. So let's stand. We're going to have a time to where you can come and pray. You got something, maybe God spoke to your heart in some way. Whatever your need is, we want to invite you to come this morning. And like I say, I can't think of a better way than for you to commit to sponsoring a kid. And we're going to make sure, Miss Rita, raise your hand up, Miss Rita. We need everybody to know who Miss Rita is, because you need to go to her and let her know today what you can do. And let's just get this thing rolling towards next year. And I believe God's going to bless in a great, mighty way. God,